Alright, well, we got a doozy of a workout today, so go ahead and get it started. Did 10 sets of 3 front squat with 275 here. It was honestly a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but new movement. Haven't really squatted consistently for a while, so maybe the strength isn't quite as there as I had thought, but I think it'll get better very quickly. Some things I notice: I descend pretty slow. I think I need to become more confident with my descent, so I'll be working on that. And then obviously always trying to, keep the elbows up and keep that front rack really stable, which you'll see, like, it starts out pretty good, but by set 10, my elbows are dipping pretty far down. Back was definitely tired after training today, so worked me hard. But at the same time, it felt really good to be able to actually work. I've missed being able to work uninterrupted by injury and feelings of pain, so, in that regard, can't really complain. As usual, open to any sorts of form suggestions. I just really plan on front squatting 3 times a week right now. I'm not totally sure how I'm going to lay it out yet. Might just go by feel. I'd done a max everyday thing for a while, and while I don't think I want to go there just yet, I think it is something I would consider going back to maybe after some volume. So, we'll see. You can see here that my upper back rounds a little bit, so I gotta work on getting that tighter. I definitely do think I will be working in some heavier days, maybe towards the end of the week, because usually I try to go, hit some max reps, but with me at least for front squatting, my front rack just tires out way too quickly. And honestly, sets of 3 or 5 are about the max I can do with just about any weight. So, I'm sure that's a sign of some sort of weakness, but at the same time, I want to be able to squat efficiently and train to hopefully bring up, my squat and my deadlift, not so much my front rack. So I just kind of play by ear, and just so long as I'm getting in the gym and working, I'm going to be, happy with how everything's going.
Easy, come on.
Apologies for the silence. I don't really got much to talk about. Form breaks down due to fatigue. Nothing out of the ordinary. So, just something I'll always be conscious of going through. Moved on, did some of the one-stop deads. I really like these a lot. I only did, I guess this is 225 right here, but I only did a couple of sets with 275 for threes. And while it's really light, just the way that it forces you to stay in that position, which, I'm sure I even break fairly often. Like, it's not perfect even when I'm using the lightweight and focusing just on that. So, my hope is that with working with this kind of sort of drill, honestly, that I'll be able to learn to keep the bar close and stand upright. And I have people like Nick Israel tells me a lot. You need to get your shoulders tighter or your back tighter, and I never really understood it. But when I do these, I can really kind of feel it and understand it. I feel my lats working a lot more. So hopefully this translates into a better looking pull down the road. But for now, I'm just going to work on adding weight to these, getting stronger, and fixing my technique. But between doing this and the front squatting work, my upper back's gonna get a lot of attention that it wasn't normally used to. So I feel like gains are pretty much yet to come. It's almost a sure thing. But just got to go in every day and give it my best. Trying to get the lats tied up at the top. Trying to get organized. There are definitely times when I notice my lower back rounding, which is obviously the opposite of what you want, but hopefully that gets better with time as well. And obviously I do feel like the form looks more textbook, but it's also lightweight. So the real test will be to see how working like this, obviously I'm going to add weight to these pretty quick as I get used to it. The real test is going to be how it affects my deadlift, working with 400 plus, which, is still baby man weight, but heavy enough that it may cause some form breakdowns. So my focus for this block is really just going to be getting my form perfect. The camera fell there. Some good Samaritan hooked me up and sent me back up, so thank you for that. Yeah, I've made gains not deadlifting. I've made gains on my deadlift by not deadlifting and just focusing on my squat. So I figure I'm not going to be at a disadvantage by focusing on just getting my form right and not going crazy with the weight and using poor form. I think I pull a normal single here just for funsies to see how it all feels, and it feels weird when you do that after the pause work. But it was slower off the floor, which is not my usual, so I guess that's good. And then a lot of people have been saying that I need to do stiff leg deadlifts, or I should look into it to help me keep my my back upright. I don't know. So I think this is what that is, from what I could tell from YouTube's. I'd never done it before, so I think it's like 225 for 9 or 10. If anyone wants to tell me, I think I probably could have locked that one out a little bit more. If anyone wants to tell me if I'm doing them right, these are obviously really easy. Yeah, so I got bench and overhead press tomorrow. I'm excited to see how that all goes. Pause benching this whole cycle, overhead pressing this whole cycle. Should be good.